and welcome to my brief documentary about the Children Act 2004 by Joel Harrison Hurst. Today, I'll be quickly looking at what is the Children Act, where did it come from, why is it important, how does it affect us as teachers, and are there any positive or negative ramifications to this act? What is the Children Act? The Children Act 2004 is a development of the 1989 Act. It reinforced that all people and organizations working with children have a responsibility to help safeguard children and promote their welfare. The guidelines set out in this Act allow for anyone working in an educational or non-educational setting working with children to know how a child should be looked after in the eyes of the law. The Act's ultimate aim is to make the UK a safer place for children and allowed for the creation of a Children's Commissioner. It also allows the government to create electronic records for children in England, Scotland and Wales, which in turn makes it easier to trace children across local authorities. There has been some concern by watchdogs over privacy of children, especially in regards to hacking of government software. The principles of the Act allow children to be healthy, to help children to be happy and enjoy life, and allowing children to remain safe in all environments, help them succeed, and to have a positive contribution to children's lives and welfare. The main part of the Act that most people will know about is about the maltreatment and abuse of children, and the need to make findings of maltreatment known to relevant authorities. This is part of the Act that most affects teachers. Its history. The Children's Act 1989 was a watershed moment in legislation to safeguard children. It aimed at making the law less confusing and easier to apply and was hailed by the Lord Chancellor of the time. The Act replaced a range of new duties on local authorities and courts, much of which still applies today. Its aim was to strengthen and protect children and clarify existing paperwork. The drive to reform came on the back of high-profile child abuse cases and an inquiry into the actions of overly zealous social workers. The main part of the law focused at this point on families and social workers. At this point, it didn't really extend a duty of care towards teachers. Okay, so why is it important? The Children Act 2004 widens the scope of the 1989 Act by giving anybody working with children a duty of care towards children. This means every adult, including us as teachers, now bears some responsibility for the welfare of children. Failure to report abuse is now a criminal offence under this Act. This places a larger requirement on teachers to get to know the health, personality and background of a child. Teachers should no longer be able to be standoffish in the class, and it effectively criminalises negligence from teachers. Teachers now need to be more connected and personal with their students, taking on a pastoral role. What does it mean for teachers? It is a common myth that this Act and its requirements are only about child abuse. This is not true. This legislation requires local education authorities and schools to have appropriate policies to safeguard and promote children's welfare, including in the classroom. These fields mean the prevention of bullying, dealing with attendance and meeting the needs of sick children, as well as school security and the increase of background checks for teachers. Protection for teachers. So the main duty of care will be on the school. This will pass the duty of care onto the teachers. The new requirements do not place a specific duty on individuals or members of staff, as long as they are following the guidance that is set by the teachers. The Act is therefore mainly concerned with infrastructure, policies and procedures put in place by schools and local education authorities. Teachers will now have to take greater care over their students, but really it allows for the teachers to have a framework within which to work. This means that now they have support for reporting abuse. Positive and negative consequences. The Act implemented the scheme of Every Child Matters. It was positive for teachers because it forced schools and local authorities to have a framework for reporting abuse. There is an argument that it places more stress on teachers, but because the schools will push for extra training and duties on teachers to avoid incidents of abuse going missed or unreported. However, it's difficult to see this as a truly negative impact. As educators, the welfare of our students should always be our top priority. This means that teachers will now have training, guidance and support for the unfortunate and stressful and necessary act of reporting abuse. Teachers will no longer be alone, and the school will have a legal obligation to help and pursue teachers that report abuse. It's hard to see a negative effect except perhaps holding teachers responsible for not reporting abuse. There is a worry that teaching is a very stressful job and tiring job, and that minor cases of abuse may go unnoticed by teachers. However, the law puts the onus on the school. The school cannot then shift the focus onto the teachers. In conclusion, it's hard to see the Children Act as anything but positive from a teaching point of view, given as a framework with which to report abuse. There has been some claims that extra layers of bureaucracy takes away funds from frontline services like social workers. However, this does not have much of an impact on teachers. Thank you for watching. Here is some of the online resources that I used. I hope you can find them useful. Thank you for watching.